Hey guys, John here, and welcome to Smackdown Live. This is the final Smackdown before SummerSlam, and me and Tim will be covering SummerSlam. What we decided to do is that Tim is going to cover the WCPW events, like Stacked, Refuse to Lose, etc., and I will cover the NXT event. So, Sunday, expect a video from TakeOver. But that's beside the point. SmackDown first, NXT tomorrow. Let's crack on with SmackDown. So first we have Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan backstage. I was picturing them beforehand, modeling off their design for the US title. It's looking pretty good if you ask me. It's definitely one of the better belts on Raw. Nice to see Shane McMahon with the belts. He's had a couple of title reigns. But Bryan states at SummerSlam that SmackDown will prove to be the superior brand, as you can see from Raw's Universal Championship. Randy Orton then enters to sign the contract for his SummerSlam match against the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. He signed and says he only needs one RKO to take down the Conqueror. Heath Slater then enters with a fruit basket for Shane and Daniel Bryan and gives Orton an apple. Nice from there. He wants a contract with SmackDown after he stood up to Brock Lesnar on Raw. Randy Orton suggests an idea, and then the opening package is shown, which is like the opening intro. It's then later said that later in the night, Randy Orton will face off against Heath Slater. If Heath Slater wins, he will get a contract on SmackDown. I'm feeling very, very sorry for Heath Slater. He's pretty much just like a comedy kook at this point. He's an alright wrestler and he has a good gimmick, but he's just a comedy kook at this point. I mean, he has been for ages, so it's really his character. But I do think he can get to it. It's really sad to see that there's only... Let me think. There's only one member of the original Nexus still competing in WWE, and he's a comedy kook. The rest of them are gone, except for Daniel Bryan and David Otunga, and they're both on SmackDown. Daniel Bryan is GM, David Otunga as a commentator. I'll get more into that later. But overall, there's an alright opening to the show. Nice to see Randy Orton sign the contract. And yeah, Shane and Daniel, they're in that picture. Extremely funny. But let's move on to the first actual segment of the live show. So SmackDown this week was live in Austin, Texas, which is like the home place of Stone Cold Steve Austin and the late Dusty Rhodes. And it opened up with Miz TV. They opened the show with the Miz in the ring with Maurice, and they're almost immediately interrupted by the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Dean Ambrose. Then Ambrose gets interrupted by his number one contender at SummerSlam, Dolph Ziggler. They start to get up in each other's faces and look like they're just about to scrap, but the Miz breaks them apart and tells them he wants to talk instead of fight. He says to Dolph that he was a flop, like the new Ghostbusters reboot. His words, not mine. He then asks Dolph what's going to happen if he loses to Ambrose. Dolph says that he isn't worried about his future. He's only worried about SummerSlam and the WWE title match. And Dean says he doesn't buy this new attitude Dolph Ziggler. And of course, Ziggler basically just says, "I will beat you. I'm the supposed hero," etc. Anyways, Dean says he doesn't know. He says if somehow he wins, his life won't change as champion, and that it doesn't get easier. He says it's the same as it is now, but it's just with a big target on your back. And he says that Dolph can't handle the pressure. He says the chip on that shoulder is going to bury him. Amber says the only thing Dolph will prove is that he never wanted the title enough, and he will never get it. And then Dolph goes on a giant tangent. He doesn't know a damn thing about him. Ziggler says no matter what Dean Ambrose does, he can't beat him. And then he super kicks the WWE champion, effectively turning heel, to be honest. Since Ambrose is a face, you super kick him when he's not looking, you're pretty much a bad guy. Ziggler then leaves. That exits the ring, leaving Dean there. Miz carries on with Miz TV during the commercial, saying that Apollo Creed, his name's Apollo Crews, isn't gonna beat me. Then Apollo Crews comes out and says, "My name's Creed." So no, Crews. I'm turning into Daniel Bryan and Miz here, and he says, "No, it's Creed." And then Apollo Crews powerbombs him. That was lovely to see the Miz get his ass handed to him. Overall, good opening. Ziggler and Ambrose work very well together on the mic. You can tell Ziggler's just been getting better and better with promos. And people are starting to recognize it now, to be fair. Mick Foley put up on Twitter saying that his promo was amazing. So, good news for Ziggler. He's got the promo skills, and he has the in-ring skills. But I don't think he's going to beat Ambrose this Sunday. But that's my opinion. So, let's move on with the first match of the night. So the first match on the card was a 12-man tag team match, pitting the face tag teams on SmackDown versus the heel tag teams on SmackDown. It was the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, American Alpha, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, and the Hype Bros, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, versus the Vaudevillains, Aiden English and Simon Gotch, the Ascension, Victor and Connor, and Febreze, or Breezango, whatever you want to call them, Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Chad Gable from American Alpha started off against Tyler Breeze. The faces got an early advantage when the Hype Bros, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, double-teamed Victor of the Ascension. Then, as you see here, all 6 teams started to attack each other, the faces attacking the heels, etc. It then cut to a commercial break. When we returned, it was only Zack Ryder and Jey Uso left for the faces, and Fandango, Connor, and Aiden English left for the heels. The rest were scattered around ringside, beaten up or taking a nap. Jey Uso was tagged in, and then Aiden English as well. Jay started to take it to English with a Samoan drop and his little, like, stink face sort of thing. Jason Jordan then tagged in and shoved the unsuspecting Uso out of the way of an Aiden English clothesline, which is weird to see, to be fair, since there was a little bit of dissension between Jay and Jordan. So it's going to be interesting where that goes. I'd say if they do introduce titles on SmackDown, which they're planning to do, they'll do that. They'll have the Usos versus American Alpha for the title. As that's besides the point. Jordan then hit an Alphaplex on Aiden English and got a 2 count before Connor interrupted. Zack Ryder then hit Connor with the broski boot. Then in the corner, then hit a Rough Rider spine buster combo with Mojo Rawley. Then teams got sort of demolished left, right, and center, all pulling off their signature moves. With the Usos standing tall. One of the Usos does a sort of like a suicide dive on everyone basically, and it ends with American Alpha getting the win by hitting English with a combo, with their sort of back body drop combo. It seemed to be rushed a little bit. They're trying to get all the tag teams on SmackDown credible, but they're not really doing that. They're doing a better job than Raw, to be fair. I mean, Jericho versus Enzo and Cass. By the way, I just like the way Jericho and KO are on a team. They're the 2 sassiest superstars on the roster. But they do seem to be trying to get everybody on SmackDown credible, put them all to the next level, instead of focusing on 2 tag teams, which I do like to a certain extent, make the roster more, have more of a depth. But I do think it's sacrificing it for good storytelling. The match did seem a bit like thrown together, a bit rushed. But I do think American Alpha versus the Usos is the way to go. Either that or them versus the Vaudevillains, even though they're sort of jobbing out now. Poor Vaudevillains. But up next is the first women's match of the night. So let's get into that. So the first women's match of the night is Eva Marie versus Naomi. It's both combatants' first official match on SmackDown. Naomi got a cool new entrance, a remix of her Team Bad theme, and a new getup, and it's sort of like a neon, sort of futuristic sort of thing. Side note, I swear to God, that announcer for Eva Marie is annoying as hell. I mean, I'm sure he's a sound fella in real life, but seriously, the thing about Eva Marie, the most charismatic person, the best wrestler, etc. Mate, get out of here. She's not the best wrestler, not by a country mile. She's not even the best women's wrestler on SmackDown. She's not even the best women's wrestler in this match. Shots fired. And it says Eva Marie is stuck in traffic and can't make a scheduled match. The fans are a bit miffed, as well as Naomi. So the match is then called off, to my delight. Seriously, if I see Eva Marie wrestle, I swear to Christ, I'm gonna beat someone with a hammer. It's like getting shot. That's how bad it is watching Eva Marie wrestle. It's like being shot. But I'm gonna stop myself before I get into like an anti-Eva Marie rant sort of thing. Let's move on to the next segment of the show. So up next was a confrontation between AJ Styles and Alberto Del Rio. Styles says that he is jealous Del Rio for being able to beat up John Cena tonight. And he sort of tries to give Del Rio a little bit of a pep talk, like, come on mate, you can beat up John Cena, hashtag beat up John Cena. Del Rio says he's beaten up Cena for a long time and doesn't need Styles' pep talk. For those of you who don't know, Del Rio was the one that took the belt off Cena, the US title, and put him on the shelf for 9 months, only coming back in May. And also, in 2011, I believe? Yeah, 2011, he was intertwined in the whole hustle, loyalty, disrespect angle between John Cena and CM Punk. And he won the belt at Hell in a Cell between the two in a triple threat Hell in a Cell match. So, all nice, good stuff there. Styles then says that his attitude is the reason why AJ is on the SummerSlam card while Del Rio isn't. Zing! That was a great moment from Styles. He is starting to get a little bit sassy, but I get it. He's in a match against John Cena. He just wants to hashtag beat up John Cena. But then afterwards, things got interesting. They hyped the return of Kurt Hawkins. He used to be with WWE ages ago. He used to be there in 2008. His biggest angle was that he was part of La Familia with Zack Ryder, Chavo Guerrero, Vicky Guerrero, and Edge. They used to like completely run SmackDown at that point, and they were going up against The Undertaker. Second wrestling match I saw, first match was Cena Punk on Raw. I got Smackdown vs. Raw 2009, and on that disc, there was the main event of WrestleMania 24, which was Edge versus The Undertaker. And they interrupted, but Taker just, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins tried to beat up The Undertaker while the referee was down, but Undertaker just double chokeslammed both of them out of the ring. So that was my first ever WrestleMania match that I saw, so that was a pretty good match. But getting off topic about Kurt Hawkins, point is, he was a good wrestler. He was a tag team champion at one point with Zack Ryder. I don't really know what he's done since he left WWE, but he's coming back, so I'm happy for him. But let's get into the third match of the night, which was Randy Orton versus Heath Slater. So let's get on with Randy Orton versus Heath Slater. If Heath Slater won, he got a contract with SmackDown. I'm just going to say this off the bat. Orton murdered Heath Slater in this match. He got himself disqualified early on, ramming Heath Slater into the turnbuckle multiple times, the ring post multiple times, and started to... Excuse me, just had dinner. Just punched the holy pudding out of him. Orton did get disqualified. He didn't continue to attack Slater after the match to make a point to Lesnar. He threw him over the announce table, as you can see in this picture here. He did a hangman slam on the barricade, hit him with his apron DDT on the barricade onto the concrete around the ring. Threw him back into the ring, hit two German suplexes, and did a mocking of Lesnar. Viperville. And then, speaking of Viperville, he took him there with an RKO from out of nowhere. I lied. You could tell it was coming. But Heath Slater did technically win the match by DQ. After the match, something very interesting happened. The Wyatts interrupted Orton's celebration of the maiming of Heath Slater. And it looks like one of the major feuds on SmackDown after SummerSlam and heading into Backlash will be the Wyatts versus Randy Orton. But afterwards, they have like a little comedy scene with Slater getting medical attention backstage. You know, comedy kook character now. And then Shane and Daniel Bryan enter. And then he says he has a contract on SmackDown. They give him the contract, and says he gave Orton no mercy. I think he may have had a concussion. But then Danny Bryan and Shane McMahon announced that No Mercy is going to be the October pay-per-view for SmackDown. The last time we had No Mercy was in 2008, where the main event saw Chris Jericho defeat Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight title in a ladder match. Also on the card, Triple H defeated Jeff Hardy for the WWE Championship. Matt Hardy defeated Mark Henry for the ECW Championship. Rey Mysterio defeated Kane. Big Show defeated The Undertaker. And Batista defeated JBL. So, I'm happy it's back, first of all. But then, something funny happens. He's just rambling on. And they take the contract away from him. But, I guess he's still on SmackDown. So, what do you make of that, Tim? Baby! So, up next is Eric Rowan versus the WWE Champion, Dean Ambrose. Let's get into that. So, up next was a member of the Wyatt family, Eric Rowan, versus the WWE Champion, Dean Ambrose, as I mentioned just a little bit ago. Bray Wyatt was at ringside. You can see him in the little background there, supporting Eric Rowan. And during the commercial break, while they were going out to the match, they had a confrontation with Randy Orton. They didn't fight, but Eric Rowan sort of went for him. But Bray Wyatt put him off, let's say. It's going to be interesting to see where the Wyatts go from here. I'd say they are going to be locked in the feud with the Viper. But Dean Ambrose, he did try to seem to get the match done early on. He did go in a bit of a frenzy on Rowan. He did try to hit the dirty deeds earlier on. But Rowan powered out of it. He then drop-kicked Rowan out of the ring and hit him with a suicide dive, as you can see here. Rowan then hit Ambrose with a power slam and a sliding drop kick, sending Ambrose to the outside. Then he got a 2 count when he eventually got back into the ring. He powered out of a headlock, but Rowan then regained control shortly afterwards. And it seemed to be that Rowan was targeting Ambrose's lower back, which is not good news for Ziggler. Ziggler's moves are sort of tailored towards the head. The Famouser, the zigzag, the sleeper hold, the super kick, all targeting the head. He doesn't really have any offense that can deal damage to the lower back. But Rowan's kept on getting 2 counts. Ambrose kept dodging Rowan's attacks and started to go the offensive with a back body drop. And some right hands. It's cool to see Ambrose do a back body drop on Rowan. That was pretty awesome. He then got a 2 count after his lunatic elbow drop. Rowan then got a 2 after a spinning heel kick, which is mad to see a person of Rowan's size doing. Ambrose then powered out of what looked like a sidewalk slam to hit Rowan with his traditional clothesline. You know, the one where it's like he gets he goes into the ropes, he rebounds off them, and then his clothesline. That's really cool. He then hit Dirty Deed shortly afterwards for the 3 counts. And what was weird afterwards that Ambrose Bray Wyatt just let Ambrose walk away with the win, and then Bray Wyatt left Eric Rowan at ringside, and Bray Wyatt had Rowan's sheep mask. So that's weird. It looks like the black sheep won't be a part of the Wyatt family anymore. We could have just seen the destruction of the Wyatt family. That's going to be really sad to see, but it's sort of interesting as well, since Bray Wyatt, I do think he needs to be elevated to like a major superstar, and he's not getting that push with Rowan, so I think he cut Rowan loose to ascend him to that world title level. But up next is the 4 other women on SmackDown competing in a tag team match. So up next was the remaining 4 women on the roster in a tag team match. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first women's tag team match since the brand split, on SmackDown at least. But it was Carmella and Becky Lynch, the faces, versus Natalya and Alexa Bliss, the heels, basically. Carmella kicked the match off against Natalya. Carmella did gain an early advantage with a head scissors takedown. Natalya then hit Carmella with a spinning clothesline and tags in Alexa Bliss. The heels then gain control over the former manager of Enzo Amore and Big Cass. Alexa then strapped in a chinlock on Carmella, as you can see here, but Carmella did power out with a jawbreaker. Natalya and Becky Lynch then enter the match. Becky gained a huge advantage over Natalya. She got a 2 count after an exploder suplex. Natalya did start to fight back. Both went for a running takedown. And then Eva Marie came in amidst massive boos from the crowd. Again, I hate her, like, ring announcer sort of thing. How can't you just get a ring announced like the rest of them? Idiots! It only works if it's someone rich and famous, like Alberto Del Rio, when he had Ricardo Rodriguez. And that's because, and I tolerate him because he was so funny. Anyways, aside from, again, another Eva Marie rant, Naomi interrupted Eva and then went after her. Natalya threw Naomi out of the ring and rolled up Becky for a 2 count. Becky then trapped Natalya in the disarmor in the middle of the ring, and Natalya was forced to tap out. Becky and Carmella win via submission. The 3 faces celebrate in the ring. It is later announced that Eva Marie, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss will face off against Becky Lynch, Carmella, and Naomi at SummerSlam. So another match at SummerSlam. So it's starting to get a pretty much of a packed card right now. Like 8, that's alright, but another match on top of it? I could just see some matches not getting the time they deserve. I can see the title matches, Ambrose and Ziggler, and Rollins and Balor not getting as much match because they're not really going to sacrifice minutes in the Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton match. Sweet Rich, they didn't hype that match afterwards. Of course, I'm cheering on Randy Orton. And in the backstage segment, Baron Corbin attacked Kalisto again. So it looks like those two are going to be on the pre-show of SummerSlam. I feel sorry for Corbin. It's another pre-show match. He deserves better. He really deserves better. But that's all for the women of SmackDown this week. Overall, they had a good match. But again, Eva Marie is just ruining everybody's fun. I wish she could just get her ass kicked by Becky. So, up next is the main event of the evening. So let's check that out. So the main event was the face that runs this place, John Cena, going up against the Mexican aristocrat Alberto Del Rio. AJ Styles was on commentary for this match, as it is shown there. There's a slow start to the match as Cena and Del Rio took their time locking up. Cena gained the early advantage with a hip toss. Del Rio gained the advantage during the commercial break and got a 2 count from a double axe handle from the top rope. Cena powers out of a headlock, but Del Rio hits kick to the groin. Del Rio tries to do a senton splash on Cena, but he dodges and Del Rio is sent flying out of the ring. Cena goes for the attitude adjustment. Del Rio powers out with a German suplex for a 2 count. Here's another side note. It's funny how David Otunga is standing up for John Cena against Styles after Otunga was part of the Nexus against John Cena. How about his first match on Raw, which is coincidentally my first match on Raw. So it was a bit weird seeing David Otunga defend John Cena against Styles. It was funny from Styles, though. I'll give him that. He's good character. Del Rio then hit 2 big boots. Missed the 3rd, but then Cena starts to fight back, but goes groin first into the turnbuckle. Cena then got another 2 counts. Del Rio got another 2 counts. Cena, sorry, that got a little mixed up on my notes here. Del Rio came down from the top rope, but Cena hit him with a drop kick. Then Cena started this whole comeback thing, hit 2 shoulder blocks. I'm getting my words mixed up today. Back body drop, 5-knuckle shuffle. He went for the A, but Del Rio again powered out and hit the backstabber for yet another 2 counts. Del Rio then hit a tilt-the-world backbreaker, step up insecurity, but Cena dodges and hits a clothesline. Cena then goes for the top rope for, I think it's like his leg drop from the top rope. But Del Rio hits a step up insecurity and gets a 2 3/4 count. Cena then Del Rio goes for the cross arm breaker, but Cena counts into the STF. Del Rio gets the ropes and hits Cena with a super kick for yet another 2 counts. Del Rio cinches in the cross arm breaker, but Cena powers out and hits the AA for the 3 count. Super Cena standing tall, as you can see. Styles then was a bit miffed at all this and then hits Cena with the phenomenal forearm. He grabbed the mic and he said he is sick and tired of hearing that the future goes through John Cena. As says he will make the WWE John Cena's passion a prison. and he will be the face that runs the place after SummerSlam. We thought I was done, but then he went to hit Cena with a Styles Clash, but Cena powers out with an attitude adjustment. Cena then attacks Styles and sets up an AA through the announce table and plants Styles through the table. Super Cena stands tall at the end of SmackDown. So overall, it was a good show. Cena looking a bit strong at the end. I'm angry about that. I do hope Styles wins, and I think he will win. I think he's going to go after Ambrose then for the title. But you never know. Besides, I can't really see anything for Styles to do. Orton is not going to beat Brock Lesnar. Let's just put that there. Ziggler is no match for Ambrose. Maybe in promos he is, but not in the ring. Cena's been rumoured to leave WWE for a bit in September. I think he's decided to host a TV show or be a part of Total Bellas. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? Styles is the perfect match for Ambrose. But that's it for SmackDown this week. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the video, and I will see you later for NXT tomorrow. Take care.